Welcome to Video Evolution, evolution in the world of videos. Today we are back with the second part of the character sketch, and as you know, it's a very important thing. So let's continue from our second part. So the next character we have is Mrs. Van Daan. A figure of ridicule and unintentional amusement, Mrs. Van Daan was an egoistical, cunning and perpetually dissatisfied person. She was an interfering busybody and a hypocrite who meddled in other people's affairs. Though neglectful of her own son, she used to give unsolicited advice on matters of upbringings. She portrayed herself as a tragic heroine who was misunderstood by everyone and demanded sympathy for her host of complaints. She was also vain in nature. She would appear to be pleasant and friendly to strangers, especially men, but become vindictive, selfish and insufferable with those who knew her. She indulged in noisy fights with her husband, and it was quite difficult for her to demarcate boundaries between the public and the private. Her world centered on herself and her immediate family. It did not matter to her what was happening outside the circle, as long as it did not directly affect them. Despite being a mature woman, Mrs. Van Daan could choose to behave as a frivolous young girl who indulged herself in occasional flirting and took offense at petty slights. Next we have Peter Van Daan. Peter Van Daan, a shy boy of 16, was unlike other boys. A thoughtful and sensible observer, he was different from his loud and brash parents. As he had no friends and could not reach out to his parents, he appeared sullen and difficult. Initially, Anne considered him to be hypochondriac and lazy. However, he turned out to be peace-loving, tolerant and extremely easygoing. His contemplative years were spent in the annex. He was much more closed than Anne was and took time to open up, as Anne says is character sketch of uncommutative types. He began confiding in Anne and made a determined effort to express her innermost self. Their relationship was not romantic, but forgot out of a necessity to find a kind-hearted spirit in such trying times. In Anne, Peter found the tenderness and comfort that he had been searching for, making him offer his friendship for the first time to someone. He had a solid and calming influence on Anne. Their friendship imparted poignancy to Anne's account. Next we have Albert Dussel. Albert Dussel had been chosen from a circle of acquaintances as a single person who could blend in well with the extended family in hiding. He was a dentist who lived together with a Christian lady by the name of Carolette. He had been known to be quite refined and nice as an acquaintance, but turned out to be mean, selfish and extremely narcissistic as he began living in the annex. Disrespect for others, a high-handed manner, obnoxious behavior and self-centeredness made Dussel an unwelcome presence in the household. He was a tattletale, hoarding food and being generally selfish and sullen. Although he was reported to have been friendly with children, his behavior with Anne tells otherwise. He was quite lax with observing the rules of the house, and it was evident that he was used to setting down his own rules. Being unmindful of the needs of other people, he would occupy the toilet at odd hours or monopolize the study table. When he was not engaged in his studies, he would open his dental clinic in the annex. Next we have Maeve Gaze. Maeve Gaze, along with Bep Voskuiljil, found Anne's diary strewn all over the floor after the 8 people hiding in the annex had been arrested. She tucked them away in the desk drawer and gave them unread to Anne's father, Otto Frank, when it was clear that Anne would not survive the war. Maeve was one of the 2 secretaries working in the building. She had been working for Anne's father company since 1933 and over the years became a close friend of the family along with her husband Jane. She was one of the main facilitators in the Franks' family life in hidings in the secret annex by becoming their link with the outside world and taking care of the supplies for the family to subsist on. Maeve helped the family to be best of her capabilities, disregarding the fact that her own life could be in danger for assisting Jews at a time when they were being hunted for mass extermination. She actively participated and helped in their movement to the annex to living their life in hiding. She would go grocery shopping with their food coupons, entertain the girls, and bring them things that would alleviate their boredom. Along with her husband, Along with their husband, she would pay visits to the family to give them company. Next and the final, we have Ellie Wasson. Ellie Wasson was one of the two secretaries working in the building who found Anne's diary. She was a 23-year-old typist whose father worked in the warehouse. Ellie's sense of desperation, loneliness, her father's illness, and her penurious state, along with the fact that she was the oldest unmarried daughter among 4 girls, were driving factors in accepting a man much lower than her in accomplishments to be her partner. However, she was always cheerful around the girls. The girls had fun when she stayed over because she was closer to them in age and made them forget about their present danger. Anne thought of her as a kind, considerate and helpful girl who worked selflessly and tirelessly for the members of the annex. She was thoughtful of the girls' welfare, signing them up for correspondence course in her name and supplying them with reading material. Hope, friends, you like this video. If you like this video, then please like, subscribe, share, comment. Till then, goodbye. Thank you. PAP.